So I'm going to give an opinion about For Honor after the patch. I thought a lot would happen with the patch, and I thought wrong. There really wasn't too much of a difference, or a noticeable difference after the patch, to be honest. They said they made the square a little more responsive. I guess it is, but really I don't notice a difference. I still notice a lot of people getting along just fine, spamming square, overhead, spamming square, overhead, square, overhead. Like, I see that shit daily, so it's hard for me to say that the square was improved. I mean, I've noticed some better countering, but honestly, whenever I play out of region, counter pushing is just a nightmare. Counter pushing, and then on the weekends, it's just the worst because you get out of region play, and then you get lags just because the server's bogged down, and then like it's just like, man, it's a nightmare. You get failed parries, failed, just everything. But peer-to-peer is crap. I don't know why they did peer-to-peer. Wish they didn't. Wish they'd abolish it. Never put it on there. But anyways, back to the patch. They did change some mechanics of some characters. Not really noticeable for a lot. I mean, it's really noticeable on Valk. They sped up her light attacks, so now she's kind of like a bona fide spammer. I don't really know why they did this. I played Valk a lot before the patch, and I thought her attacks were fine. But, you know, whatever. And then they made some overhead slower on some characters, which I thought was completely pointless. Because a lot of them they made slower, but then they also made them hit much harder. And even if the overhead hit slower, they didn't slow down the time of like a sideways like heavy, you know, so like a right heavy or a left heavy. They left that speed alone, but they slowed down the overhead. And I feel like this was more of a negative change than anything else, especially for the wardens, because now all wardens are like cookie cutters. They basically play the exact same. They just sit there waiting to get revenge, and then when they get revenge, they hit you with some overhead that takes away like 80% of your life. Which I guess I can't really complain about specifically towards wardens, because that's realistically how the game is played now. Like, and I feel that's one of the most negative things about the game is like the skill gap, understanding parries, understanding timing, understanding like body language, all that shit has been kind of replaced and useless, because now the whole game really revolves a lot around revenge and gear. Like, that's it. That's the whole game, especially at the higher levels. And I feel that this is mostly a negative because it's gonna destroy the player base like so bad, because you know, I'm an experienced player, but I get bored playing like the same shit every day. Like, I have to change it up. So like, I have two characters that are pretty geared. One is Valkyrie and the other one is a Warlord, and I'll explain maybe in a later video why those are my favorite characters so far. But realistically, they're both really high purples at the time of this video being made. But you know, like I said, I get bored, and sometimes I just want to try out a new character or have fun with somebody that I never really played with before. And so you try them out, and you go into a game, and you're gray, and you just really notice how much the gear makes such a vast difference in performance. Because it really does. It is just sad, really. And being an experienced player, I still get kills as a gray against like yellow or purples every once in a while. You know, I still get them. It's just kind of a lot more difficult because for the most part, all those yellows and purples will probably be spamming revenge the entire time we're fighting, because you have revenge gain on injury and you have revenge gain from actual doing defense. So both of these, the one on defense, I like. That's cool. Okay, you know, whatever. I don't like that revenge is used to win 1v1 fights. I think that's stupid as shit. But like, to have gain from being defensive, you know, and making good moves to avoid getting hit, that's good to me. But revenge gain on injury is basically complete fucking bullshit and doesn't belong in the game, in my opinion. Like, there have been many people where I've been winning a fight and I've just been kicking their ass, like just beating their ass, and they're rewarded with revenge. Like, they're rewarded for doing bad. Do you not see, like, just saying that out loud, how stupid that sounds? And then, you know, just like I said in the beginning, they just pop revenge, or they, you know, use one of the many, like, unblockable pushes, which there are several on, like, multiple characters. And I just get pushed down, and I take one overhead, and the fight's over. Which is crap. And basically ruins the experience for any new player. Like, can you imagine all the new players who get this game when it's like on sale for $8 at Walmart because it bombed and does shit because of the way you've changed it? Like, what are they gonna think? Yeah, I got on the game, you know, tried it out. I swung at a guy twice. He knocked me down with revenge. He hit me with some move over the top, and I died. Alright, cool. And maybe next time he comes in, he's like, oh man, I dodged him, and I hit him like 2 times. And then he popped revenge, and he hit me with an overhead, and I died. And then, you know, like, oh, we were having a good fight, and he just kept popping revenge until I died. You know, like, that's it. That's all you walk away with. And it's such crap, too, because a lot of the characters are getting a lot of flack because, you know, they're cheesy, or because you can play them in really cheap ways. And I feel like most characters have their own kind of qualities like that are crap. But realistically, a lot of the characters who get the most flack from being cheesy with gear, actually I said that wrong, but being cheesy, are only cheesy with gear. The exception being the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper's speed, I feel, does need to be nerfed. They have like an auto attack that's basically faster than any attack in the game, and if they start that attack when you go to attack, they'll actually hit you first and cancel you out of your attack like every time. So that's kind of broken. But their base speed, I don't know if you know, anybody who actually plays the game will probably know, but Peacekeepers are actually naturally faster than everybody. But that's not really noticeable until you start stacking gear. And then it's like, wow. Because then there's literally no way for you to ever escape from a Peacekeeper. They can run faster than you, so they can always get away from you. And they can run faster than you, so they can always catch you. And at high levels of play, I see this all the time. A Peacekeeper will run a player down who's sprinting away, and then they'll just, they'll do their shield break to grab him really quick, and then just stab him. But the point I was trying to make, like, mostly about the characters and their cheesiness, I feel a lot of it just comes from the gear. You know, the gear giving all the reductions to stamina and all the bonuses to regen. That's what makes these characters really shitty. Like, when I look at like a basic Conqueror or a basic Peacekeeper, I really don't feel like they're all that bad. But when I play one who's like level 108, it makes me just not want to play the game anymore, because they're all the same. Peacekeepers will spam attacks like crazy until you die, or if you hit them or block them or anything else, they'll still keep spamming, but they'll just wait for revenge to knock you down. Conquerors are the same. They have a really cookie cutter attitude. Basically, they all do a heavy hit, and then they'll do a square for like a shield push, and a heavy hit, and a shield push, heavy hit, shield push. And they'll just alternate. And that's the same for my Valkyrie. People will do the same shit. They'll do a heavy attack, and then they'll do like a little shield push to just knock people down with the revenge buff. And, you know, like, I feel like these aren't that bad, like I said, when you play these characters at basic levels. But when you get them fully maxed out and they can just infinitely do this cheap-ass move, I think it really just takes away from skill. It just takes away from, like, good gameplay. And it's just like, okay, well, this dumb shit's just doing the same thing over and over again, and I can't fucking do anything about it. Like, that's, like, garbage. It's a terrible strategy. And why would we, like, reward that or make that seem good? And that's, like, one of the things I hate most about the game now, is we just reward people. Like, you see it all the time. Like, people with high gear scores suck fucking dick at the game. but their high gear score will carry the shit out of them because revenge is so key to success in this game. So basically, when there is a new player or something like that, all you have to tell them is don't worry about it. You know, in the beginning you're going to die a lot, but just keep playing, because once you get past Vet 3, you'll get some purple gear. And then once you get that purple gear, you can just upgrade it to spam revenge and do overheads. And it's like, man, how is this... like, how is this the core, like, fundamentals of this game, you know? Just, like, waste a bunch of time and your gear will carry you. Like, I really don't feel like that's what this game should be. And, of course, skill will make up for stuff. But realistically, the difference gear makes is just insane. It's just mind-blowing. It's just... there's no other way to really put it. It's just so... key to success, and I'm really hoping that there's a change, and if not a change to the gear values, at least a change to the game modes. Like, give me like a Dom where gear score doesn't matter. You know, just something that I can play and enjoy, because, you know, like, I do duels to get away from revenge spam and other stuff, but I get hella bored doing duels all day, you know? You just sit there playing by yourself. That's not my deal. I like playing team games, you know? I was always on a team. That's my thing. And, I just get super bored doing duels all day. Even though I think duels are better, like, balanced and shit, because, you know, gear score doesn't matter, so the game is a lot more, like, serious and a lot more, like, you see things that you wouldn't normally see, you know? Like this Conqueror, for example. If he was like your average everyday Conqueror, he'd just be spamming heavy attacks and square over and over. But he's trying to do change-ups. He's trying to get blocks and get pokes in, you know. And it's just, I appreciate that more than just seeing him fucking sit there spamming fucking revenge, doing heavy, doing square, doing heavy, doing square. And I just hate that. That's all it is for people now in For Honor. It's just like, just get gear. And the amount of time it takes to get the gear is also concerning, because it literally takes like 3 days to get Vet 3 status when you start getting purple gear. Before that, the gear you get really isn't all that good, and you can waste time upgrading it, but realistically you're gonna need the it's not steel, but the armor points to upgrade weapons and stuff. Like, you're gonna need a lot of that when you get into the purple, because it costs so much. But the reason why this is bad is because, one, it's gonna keep people from playing multiple characters, which I think is just stupid, because I'd much rather have Dom be faction based. So basically, whatever map we were on, we'd have the defending team be the home. So if we were on like the samurai map, the samurais would be on that map, and you had to be a samurai. And then the attacking team could be either of the other two factions. I'd much rather have that. I don't like the whole let everybody be in their comfort zone at all times, because to me it doesn't make sense, and it breaks immersion with this universe. You know, like, I'm a Viking, what the hell am I doing hanging out with Japs? Or like, I'm a Viking, what the hell am I doing hanging out with Knights? Like, what the hell is this? Like, why is this a thing? But I like immersiveness in games, and that's just something little that bothers me. But I know we just want people to be happy and play their characters, you know, that they want to play. And especially with it being such a grind to get a high gear score, you really just let them play all the time. But still, I rather see that kind of system that I talked about instead of the system in place where everybody just plays what they want all day, every day. But another reason why the grind being so long is bad is because you get what I see every day. I do all my daily quests usually, and basically in any of the AI scenarios, like say I have to kill like a bunch of soldiers in Dominion versus AI, you'll almost always see like 2 or maybe even 3 people AFK in the spawn, because they're just sitting there trying to soak XP all day, so they just endlessly queue and don't do anything. And, you know, that's lame. Like, there's no other real way to say that's lame, that they can sponge. And I used to hate them for it and want to send in videos and report them, but honestly, I can't even blame them, because, you know, why not? The grind is ridiculous. And you really do need gear to compete at such a high level, so it's just It's just kind of shit. Anyways, there's a new patch on the horizon that people are talking real positive about, but so far, pretty disappointed. And I just hope we see some more changes to this.